These is the 10 best cities to visit in the world, attracting over half of the world's tourists each and every year. Lying between the Atlantic Ocean, the Mediterranean Sea, and the vast Asian landmass, its relatively small size belies its staggering diversity. Renowned around the world for their age-old historic sites and fabulous art and architecture, world cities really are a delight to visit. With lots of excellent bars, restaurants, shops, and museums wherever you go, its many stunning sights are perfectly complemented by thriving culinary and nightlife scenes. Number 1. Paris. The City of Light draws millions of visitors every year with its unforgettable ambience. Of course, the vast art collections deserve some of the credit as well. The gentle River Seine rambles through the city, flanked by stately museums, centuries-old churches, and blocks of Rococo and neoclassic design architecture, further enhanced by cascading trees and glowing street lamps. Peppering the Seine's cobbled walks and graceful bridges are impossibly chic Parisians, probably on their way to the market, cafe or cinema. Containing world-class museums, fashion, cuisine and an atmosphere all its own, Paris is also a city of many splendors, as Ernest Hemingway recalled in his memoir, A Movable Feast. Visit the beloved Musée d'Orsay, shop the biggest designers on the Champs-Élysées or hit the boutiques in Le Marais, take in the view atop the Eiffel Tower, or even plan a day trip to Versailles Palace. But don't miss out on the simple pleasure of meandering the marvelous arrondissements, districts, or snacking on street crepes either. Number 2. London. The English writer Samuel Johnson famously said, "You find no man, at all intellectual, who is willing to leave London." No, sir, when a man is tired of London, he is tired of life, for there is in London all that life can afford. More than 2 centuries have passed since Johnson's era, but his words still ring true. Life in London is nothing short of invigorating, and travelers find that one visit isn't enough to experience everything this 2 millennia-old city has to offer. Here, the antiquated clasps hands with the contemporary. You'll find the historic Tower of London and the avant-garde Tate Modern. You can catch both the Bard's works and modern plays at Shakespeare's Globe and its accompanying Sam Wanamaker Playhouse. And while Londoners still praise the power of tea, they now make room for Starbucks and Costa coffees here and there, and pressed juice too. A current leader in everything from politics and banking to fashion and music, London's culture compass is always attuned to what's next. Discover it all on one of London's best tours. Number 3. Dubai. Dubai and Las Vegas have a lot in common. Both cities share a love for the fantastical, with skylines that shine like beacons against barren desert backdrops. People from all over the world flock to these shimmering oases with the same goal, to play hard. But as a vacation spot, Dubai easily trumps Seoul's Sin City thanks to its gorgeous cream-colored Persian Gulf shoreline, international culinary scene and larger-than-life attractions. And the city's still growing, plans are underway for something bigger and better. At one point, it was estimated that a quarter of the world's construction cranes could be found here. If that's any sign, even the sky may not be able to limit Dubai's growth. Dubai is a city of superlatives, home to the world's tallest tower, one of the world's largest shopping malls, and one of the world's largest man-made marinas. But on a smaller scale, this emirate is still tied to its days as a modest port town. Traditional wooden abras, boats, float past motorboats on Dubai Creek. The natural sands of Jumeirah Public Beach fringe the carefully sculpted Palm Islands, and the bustling gold and spice souks, marketplaces, thrive amid the larger-than-life Dubai Mall. Despite constantly looking to the future, this city isn't quick to let go of its past. It's this dynamic that not only put Dubai on the tourist map but will also keep it there. Number 4. Rome. Rome, the city of 7 hills, enjoyed a mythic beginning. Romulus and Remus, twin brothers who were nursed by a she-wolf and fathered by a war god, reportedly founded the Eternal City. And although historians are a little skeptical about this epic entry into the world, most travelers are absolutely certain that there is something magical about Rome. Whether it's the mystery of nearby Vatican City or the ghosts of the Colosseum, an afternoon cafe on Piazza Navona or a piled high plate of pasta at a trattoria, Rome is sure to enchant. Italy's capital city, Rome is also known for a history that dates back to the eras of Octavian, Julius Caesar, and Hadrian, among others. Left behind are structures like the Pantheon, the Roman Forum and dozens of churches, among other historic gems. Art enthusiasts will relish the trove of art housed at the Vatican museums, and foodies will enjoy the splendid Italian fare, not to mention the gelato. And though its momentous past is the focus for many vacationers, Rome is also a fast-paced, modern and relevant city, with gleaming designer storefronts, sleek hotels and cutting-edge restaurants. Number 5. Tokyo. Animated is perhaps the best word to describe Tokyo. Crazy about its anime, Japan's megacity is constantly buzzing with movement. Feet clacking down sidewalks, cars zooming along streets, subway trains humming below ground, ships cruising in and out. And yet bright lights and loud signs beg you to pause, to break your motion for just 1 second to pray, oops, we mean pay, at the altar of consumerism. This is a city that feeds on motion and progress. But when you want to stop in Tokyo, the city will certainly make it worth your while. The tech-savvy locals may whiz past the monuments and urban parks daily, except during the cherry blossom season when everyone floods the green space. But, we assure you, the museums and historical sites are world-class. Here, there are photos to be taken, sushi to be eaten and a lot of shopping to be done. So what are you waiting for? You better get a move on. Number 6. Maldives. You've seen photos of the Maldives before. Picture perfect private villas suspended over striking blue waters, alabaster white sand beaches and spectacular sunsets dipping into the horizon. The scenic beauty of the Maldives is something to behold, something you can't quite understand until you're there in person. The island nation of the Maldives is popular with honeymooners looking for seclusion and adventurers looking to explore the depths of the sea on a scuba diving and snorkeling excursion. Travelers seeking relaxation can unwind at one of the island spas, and all visitors should certainly spend a day exploring the Maldivian capital of Mali. The hotels in this region are also spectacular, ranging from underwater hotels to overwater bungalows to incredibly beautiful resorts. However, getting to and staying in this tropical paradise requires patience. There are no direct flights from the United States, and plentiful cash. Located between the Arabian and Laccadive Seas, roughly 500 miles southwest of Sri Lanka, the Maldives is about as isolated as you can get, and that's just another one of its many allures. Its tourism industry is today the Maldives' largest revenue generator. Due to their underwater scenery and clean water, the Maldives is ranked among the best recreational diving destinations of the world, with over 60 local dive sites across the islands. It was also reported to be the world's most desired honeymoon destination. According to a global survey by Agoda.com, the level of crime in the Maldives is low, but some personal belongings left on the beaches or in the hotels can be stolen. Knife crime in populated areas, like the capital Male, has increased. Tourists should also follow local advice on if there is any danger with swimming. Some piracy and armed robbery attacks have also occurred in the area of Gulf of Aden and Horn of Africa. A threat of terrorism is possible. The targets can include government buildings, schools, places of worship, airports, public places. On 2018, the government declared a state of emergency due to the increased protests and aggressive clashes with the police in Mali. Those demonstrations are advised to be avoided. Number 7. Barcelona. Barcelona contains both the authentically historic and the wildly bizarre. From the scenic trails of the colorful Parc Güell to the romantic narrow alleys of Barri Gòtic, from the beachside nightclubs to the city's dozens of sacred churches and architectural marvels, this city by the sea seems to attract all types: the adventurer, the couple, the partier, the culture lover, and more, with an almost overwhelming variety of things to do. You could stay for a few days, but chances are you'll need a whole week to explore. In Barcelona, even the beach is bustling, but it's really the cosmopolitan city that gets all the attention. Much of the activity revolves around Las Ramblas, a series of narrow streets and alleys packed with restaurants, nightclubs and a vibrant pedestrian market. But you should also take a tour of Antoni Gaudí's masterpieces. Gaudí is responsible for sites like Casa Milà, Casa Batlló, and La Sagrada Familia. You also shouldn't miss out on the eclectic shopping scene and the region's exquisite food and wine. You see why we suggest a week vacation? To get a lay of the land, consider signing up for one of the city's best guided tours. Barcelona is a fantastic holiday destination. It's one of the top travel destinations for a good reason. You'll love the food, the architecture and the overall atmosphere of the city. Besides, Barcelona has a seaside too, which allows you to combine a city holiday with a beach vacation. Sagrada Familia. Attractions. Barceloneta. Barcelona has more than 4.5 miles of beaches, from Sant Sebastià to Levant. La Rambla. Things to do. Picasso Museum. Museums. Barcelona Cathedral. Attractions. La Boqueria Market. Shopping. Botanical Garden. Attractions. Barcelona is quite expensive to visit but still affordable, and it is definitely possible to visit Barcelona and keep costs low. Like all cities, Barcelona has cheap options and good deals. Barcelona is not generally considered expensive in comparison to other top city destinations in Europe like London, Paris, and Rome. Number 8. Bali. Shangri-La, Elysium, Arcadia, Utopia and Bali are all synonymous with heaven. The only difference between them is that you can actually visit Bali. Many travelers have never been to this Indonesian island. Yet, the word Bali conjures daydreams of the most fantastical landscape, towering volcanoes wrapped in a deep green canopy, sandy shores that fade into turquoise waters and curving coastlines crowned with staggered pagodas. And believe it or not, Bali rarely disappoints. You'll be amazed at how many different types of visitors revel in this paradise. The ordinary traveler simply stays at the palatial oceanfront resort and indulges in luxurious spa treatments, decadent cuisine and lazy sunbathing. But the historian will find his or her delights at the island's many temples, while the adventurer will discover new paths up an active volcano in Kintamani. Plus, the town of Kuta boasts more riotous pleasures for those inclined to late nights. Bali is a dream come true, so wake up and book your ticket. Famous for its volcanic mountains, iconic beaches and coral reefs, Indonesia's resort island of Bali has topped TripAdvisor's best destination list for 2017. Famous for its volcanic mountains, iconic beaches and coral reefs, Indonesia's resort island of Bali has topped TripAdvisor's best destination list for 2017. The best time to visit Bali is between April and October, the island's dry season. Although the weather is ideal for travelers, the island is also subject to soupy, humid days throughout the year. Best areas to stay in Bali. Ubud, the best place to sleep in Bali and get around the island. Kuta and Legion, one of the most popular areas to stay in Bali. Seminyak, the best neighborhood in Bali to stay in. Canggu, one of the best places to stay in Bali. Jimbaran, where to find some of the best hotels in Bali. Number 9. New York City. The truth is that New York City is one of the safest big cities in the world. Visitors are constantly under the protection of the city's friendly and vigilant police force. Tourism accounts for 7.2% of total private sector employment and 4.5% of private sector wages. Tourism indirectly supported 376,800 jobs in 2019. In 2019, leisure travelers accounted for 80% of visitors, while domestic travelers also made up 80% of visitors to New York City. With so many people and things to do, Central Park is very safe during the daytime. However, it is a very large park and it is easy, even for New Yorkers, to get lost. There are a few densely wooded areas in the park, like the Northwoods and the Randall, pictured below. Times Square is a great place to visit at night and it stays populated until after midnight when theatergoers head home. One of the most common crimes that target tourists, besides pickpocketing, is taxi scams. Cool, cosmopolitan, crowded, constantly evolving, the Big Apple blends big city splendor with small-town charm. Amid Gotham's iconic landmarks and towering skyscrapers, you'll experience a vibrant culture permeating each of the city's distinctive neighborhoods and boroughs. Follow trendsetters to the East Village and Brooklyn to check out indie boutiques, iconic bakeries and trendy coffee shops. Afterward, peruse the racks of the sleek shops lining Fifth Avenue, admire the cutting-edge art collections at the MoMA and the Met, catch a memorable show on Broadway or sit down for a meal at the latest hit restaurant. As the most populous city in the U.S., set at the forefront of food, fashion and the arts, NYC requires stamina. But don't let the Big Apple's frenetic sights and sounds intimidate you from soaking up its grandeur. Enlist the help of a local to help you navigate it all. Wander through the concrete jungle and you'll discover roaring taxis zipping down bustling blocks, fast-paced pedestrians strolling past on their way to marquee galleries and trendy cocktail bars, and Times Square's neon lights flickering at all hours. And yet, the city's twinkling lights and chaotic corners also invite you to embrace every New York minute, explore every enclave and create your own urban adventure. There are endless ways to spend your time in the city that never sleeps, but before you leave, stop and look around. What's here today will be transformed into something bigger and better tomorrow. Number 10. Sydney. Sydney is both a laid-back beachside town and a thriving metropolis that boasts some of the Southern Hemisphere's best surf, landmarks and activities. Whether you're looking to watch a show at the iconic Opera House, take to the waves at Bondi Beach or explore trendy areas like the Rocks and Darling Harbour, Sydney features something for everyone. Even Sydney-siders have an ideal mix of both worlds. Fashion-forward attire and British-style sarcasm combine with a no-worries attitude and relaxed coastal vibe. It's no wonder this vibrant city down under is a natural choice for first-time Aussie visitors. In addition to tons of beaches and top-notch restaurants and bars, Australia's most populous city features an array of things to do. Thrill seekers can participate in heart-pounding activities like a Sydney Harbour Bridge climb, while visitors looking to unwind will appreciate a relaxing day at Coogee or Manly Beach or a peaceful stroll through the Royal Botanic Garden. There's also plenty of seasonal Sydney festivals and events to experience, such as Sculpture by the Sea, the Festival of the Winds and the Night Noodle Markets. Whether you're looking to enjoy a rugby match, hit up the city's museums or lounge along the shore, Sydney's got you covered. Sydney is famous for its sparkling waterfront setting, and one of the most popular things to do in Sydney Harbour is a sightseeing cruise. Most harbour cruises depart from Circular Quay in Sydney Cove, which is also home to the city's main ferry terminal. For most of the world, Australia is on the overside of the world, a foreign land far, far away. And Australia's crown jewel is undoubtedly Sydney. With some of the world's most beautiful beaches, world-class restaurants and unforgettable experiences, everyone should have the city on their bucket list. Sydney is famous for its landmarks like the Sydney Opera House, Bondi Beach, and Harbour Bridge. It's also known for its gorgeous blue harbour waters, shopping, and vibrant food culture. Sydney boasts a lot of attractions and fun things to do. No matter how long one stays in Sydney, there will always be new and fantastic adventures to make. However, a reasonable number of days one needs to spend in the city to get the best out of it is a minimum of 5 days.